Hey guys, it's JD and welcome back to my channel, but most importantly, welcome to episode 26. I always look at my screen. Episode 26 of Hogwarts Legacy. And we're in this vivarium for two reasons, guys. First of all, I want to show you the breeding pens in this vivarium. I wanted to show you the giant purple toads and also the wee ones, the small ones, which I'm gonna take. I'll let you know in a minute why.
I'll look after you.
So we took that. And I also want to... in this vivarium I was breeding Jobberknolls and toads, right? Now, I went wandering about in between episodes and I came across a den of Nigellus, and we had only one Nizel and I brought him a female. Now I'm gonna breed Nigellus here. So I didn't have any space in the vivarium, so I had to take the small toad and the young toad and the young I can't remember his name, Jobberknoll, basically. So let's breed the Nizel, and here we can breed the toad, basically. Now, our bag is full but one. Okay, so we can get something else. Okay, so let's go into the next vivarium. Now, I think I've collected everything here. This guy is good. You owe me feathers, mate. Yeah, I think overall we're okay. Are you okay? Oh, what's wrong with you, man? I took your toad, right? Oh, I took your baby boy. That's fine, that's fine. You're gonna make another one now. You're gonna make another one now. Now, let me... Actually, we don't even need to take the other one. So, what I'm gonna do is, I am traveling to... Let's bring Hogsmeade map. We're traveling to this block here, so it fast travel to here. And in between episode, in between episodes,
Here I come.
It's becoming far more difficult to come by.
I bought a second enhancement for the broom. There are another set of trials. I went to do them. I am light years away from the time.
Come in.
And I stopped.
Sorry if there's a smell. New batch of toad hide.
Now,
Now,
we
what
come
sorts
to
of
here.
beast byproducts might you be looking to acquire?
And we can offload all these guys. Look, 120 each. If I do this once an episode before I start the episode, usually I do it once an episode, right before I start the episode. This is money, man. By the way, the second enhancement for the broom costed me 4,000 coins, so it wasn't cheap.
I'll
So
not mind
this
seeing
type
you
of
here
farming
again.
you would
Consider
need to
yourself
do,
welcome.
basically. Now, back to our stories. Let's have a look at the quests we have open. We have the headmaster speaks, the headmistress speaks, the portrait of Professor Namah Fitzgerald. We're not gonna do that for now. A basis for blackmail. This is Nettie's story. Poacher's house call. This is Poppy's story, and then the four usual. The sky's limit is the trials. I'm not gonna do that for now. Like fucking miles, light years away, man. Like over a minute off. So what I thought is that we start off with the Poacher's Call. Let's have a look where we need to go. So if we open the world map, we need to go here. It's not that far away, so basically it's next to... Oh, it's in the castle, man. Okay. It's in the bloody castle. So now, probably, something has happened to her gran. Hopefully her gran is okay.
Oh, good, you're safe.
me,
There
hon.
you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
What's a Snidget?
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
It was one of the questions in the quiz.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Okay, so we have to save the Snidgets.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. Perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
Yeah.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much as...
Merlin's beard! You're a genius!
The centaurs.
The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Centaurs aren't known for being the friendliest lot. Especially not with wizard kind, and not right now.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Okay, quest complete. She does not have a plan yet, so waiting for her to come up with a plan. Let's go and tackle the basis for blackmail. Pops.
Are you
No,
ready to put an
nothing.
end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Okay, let's start off by questioning some peoples. Some nice little peeps.
If somebody finally took care of the luggage. Oh, what a relief.
Let's go this way, up the staircase.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been...
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Okay, how are you hiding the extortion?
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Okay, so you're in deep shit, brother.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
There's Rabe.
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Mrs. Rabe, we do hope you will reconsider helping us with our banking needs. We've given you ample time to reach a decision on your own, but we're beginning to lose our patience. We know your husband would appreciate if you were to see the value in our working together. Shall we expect a response by a week's end? Best to keep this between us, if you understand our meaning.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
This Harlow guy is he's a naughty boy. Do you guys think he runs funny? I do think he runs funny.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there. Revelio.
The only all-wizarding village in Britain, Hogsmeade has been a favorite haunt of Hogs where students, third years end up for centuries. I've came this way 7,000 times, man. I have never seen that before.
Natty must be around here somewhere. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
I think she's this way.
Revelio!
Okay, so...
What a relief it was to travel freely again. Without that friction
Jesus,
of
man.
Goblin.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Hang on, though. Hang on.
Revelio!
Now we can go.
Has there ever been a vampire working?
A Schwinder hideout.
The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Accio! A hidden door.
Nice.
Revelio! Natty must have been taken this way. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
Here we go. I expect that here would be the fight would be quite ferocious.
Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
I don't trust Ranrok, I'll tell you that. You'll tell them to be straight with your instructions.
I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure.
I'm going straight to the Hogwarts.
Somebody out there?
Oh, what's that? Right.
Incendio!
To your knees!
Defender! Confringo!
Novice luck!
Protego! Stupid one! You can do! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Incendio! Imperio!
It's time to eat your...
Accio!
Protego! Is there no next to
Confringo!
Pay for your deeds!
Sorry about that.
Get! I shall end you! You're no match for me. What's this? Got your gun?
Potato!
Enough?
Expelliarmus! Defender!
Never quite conductive, aren't we? Oh dear. Fighting with plants, are we? Fighting with greens, are we?
Confringo!
From above!
Expelliarmus! Defender!
Give it back!
Incendio! Crucio!
Crucio!
Imperial! Accio! Bombarda! Confringo! Defender! Expelliarmus!
Quite a fight, guys. Quite a fight. I like how we turned that lady into a chicken. You are as dear to me as an augury, whose voice foretells the coming rain. You are as loved by me as a crop could be, whose loyalty is true and plain. You have cast a spell over my heart, I want it not undone. You have charmed me from the very start, you have always been the one. Dulcibella Filbert.
The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back. Revelio.
Look at all the goodies up here, man. My darling Otto, I have read your last letter and over, and then I'm certain to read it again each hour until we are able to meet. I dread the notion that I will not see you soon, but I am not without hope. I long for the day that our engagement can be shared with those whom we love, especially my dear father. I do not wonder at your wanting to wait until you are more settled, my love, and I know that you are doing all you can to ensure that such a situation is within your grasp. Please allow me to say that these past months of being unable to share publicly the feelings which exalt me to the utmost pinnacle of happiness have been an existential challenge indeed. And now I am off to read your letter once more.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Revelio.
Let's not destroy it for now. We're not gonna use it to malintent.
Oi, oi.
Nice, more monies. What was the third thing that... Oh yeah, he actually kidnapped someone. The guy from the bank.
Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
There's a chest here. There you go. I'm not seeing shit. Let me arm myself with mandrakes. Just for the fun of it.
Revelio.
Hey! We should speak to her again. Perhaps she'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
She's determined to say nothing. The boss will deal with her when he arrives. I'm tired of wasting my time on the foolish decisions of others. We've lost precious opportunities. Opportunities of... Levioso. Depulso. Levioso. What are you doing?
Protego.
What are your faults, John?
Expelliarmus. Incendio.
What the hell was that?
Defender.
You've made a grave mistake. I'm just warming up.
Confringo. Expelliarmus.
My wand!
Incendio. Glacius.
Where are you going, sir?
Protego.
That's just the beginning.
Glacius. Wait till Sebastian hears about this. An Ashwinder.
Okay.
Revelio.
There's a treasure.
Natty must be here somewhere.
So I have to find the other block, though. Correct?
Revelio.
Okay, I've been there.
You found us. I knew you would realize I had left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Rabe. He will tell you what you need to do.
Let me collect the money first.
Over here. I need your help.
I'm coming.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty is
Revelio.
not able to summon my wand. It must be blocked by something.
Hang on, first and foremost, let me put this on. So I can see
Lumos.
shit.
Revelio. Lumos.
Any luck with my wand?
No.
Please. You must find it. Quickly.
Revelio. Incendio. Lumos.
It says to look within the circle.
Revelio. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
Wasn't there before, man.
Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Okay, let's go, man.
Revelio.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Okay. If you say so, my friend.
Hush now.
I would rather, like, sneak in and out than fight. Because when I fight, I do all the fighting. Jesus Christ.
Lumos.
Lumos.
I mean, we've killed everyone.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and
for all. I really like her dialect. Not dialect. Yes, dialect.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe.
Why am I not trusting Rootzinger?
Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe, to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
I'm not trusting her.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this.
Whatever you say, off.
Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.